Books that I went into not expecting much, but they ended up being 5 stars. Starting off, I have Reign of Shadows and Endings. I kept seeing people talk about this and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try, but I didn't know too much about it. Guys, I made a mistake by starting this before I had to go into a shift at work. It had me from the very beginning, and that was the slowest 8-hour shift ever because I just wanted to go home and crawl in bed and read this for the rest of the night. And there's 2 more that get even better. Plus, the 4th and final book comes out in October, so this will be a complete series very soon. Bump this up on your TBR, please. Then I have Avalon Tower. This was actually on my radar for quite a bit of time, and when I finally decided to read it, I was not expecting the plot to be as good as it is. Now, it was a little slow at the beginning, but once I was at the academy, I was really getting into it. Technically, I rated this one a 4.5, but that is only because the second book, The Veil of Dreams, is so good that I feel like this had to be a little lower. But Avalon Tower was the one that really surprised me, and it's borderline 5 stars, so it will be included. I also have The Conditions of Will. I don't know why I expected less from Jessa Hastings. I think it's because I didn't even know that this was coming out until I heard people talking about it, and in the back of my head, I was holding this idea that it couldn't be as good as Magnolia Parks. I was very wrong, and I am so sad that this is a standalone. This is unlike anything I've ever read, and even if you're not into contemporary romance, I recommend this to anybody. Next, I have Quicksilver. I read this when it first started gaining traction, so there wasn't any crazy hype around it yet. Like, I literally have the indie cover. Some people DNF this because they say the beginning is too slow, but you have to go into it knowing that there is going to be a period of world building. I loved both the MMC and FMC in this book, and I cannot wait to get my hands on Brimstone. Then I have to talk about Binding 13. This was actually the second book I ever read when I first got back into reading. I went into this blind, so to my surprise, I went on the most unexpected emotional roller coaster ever. At the time, it was popular, but I don't think it was as nearly as popular as it is today. So I got the impression that this was a fluffy rom-com sports romance type of series, and it has some of those elements, but that is so not what this is. I binge read this in less than 24 hours, and it's like 600 plus pages, so do with that what you will. Then I have book 3 in Zodiac Academy, The Reckoning. I will say the whole series caught me by surprise, but this was my favorite so far. I have been hearing people talk about this series for so long, and I don't know why, but I was never interested. But I am so glad that I did, because this is like my new favorite series of all time. And it is true what people say, it is not a literary masterpiece. Some people complain that they are too thick. This is book 4 and book 5, but like they could be twice the size and I would still want to read them. Not to mention, I don't know if it's like the font size, but these don't take very long to get through. If you have been on the fence about this series because you feel like it's a big commitment, once you're in it, you will not want to leave. I also have to include at least one of Elsie Silver's books, and this is by far my favorite. It's called Wild Love. To be fair, I've only read like 4 out of the 12 books so far, 25%, but this one is still number 1 for me. This was the first book I read by her, and I don't know what she puts in her books, but it's literally addictive, and I can binge read each book in one day. She just does banter so well. If you're looking to get more into contemporary romance books, this is a great place to start. And lastly, I have City of Gods and Monsters. I'm gonna be so honest with you, I have yet to read the other 2 books. I'm just waiting until the end of June so that it's closer to release day for book 4, but I can only imagine it going up from here. This one is a bit more popular, but it took me a long time to commit to it, and I was so surprised because not only is it really good, but I didn't know that it was an urban fantasy. All I knew going into it was that there were devils, because this is the House of Devils series. I am so glad I took the step to read this.